excited about the NBA starting tonight, and then the locals start tomorrow. And our good friend, Frank Isola, will join us right now to help us break it down and make sense of everything in life. Frank is with the Yes Network. He has his own morning show, basketball morning show on Sirius XM. And he's nice enough to always use Zoom when he's on with us so the people on TV
He's a handsome
can
man.
actually see how handsome he is. My guess, Frank, is if you were not a good-looking guy, you would not go the Zoom route.
Probably, but I also like you, and they asked me to do it at Yes, and the people there have been so nice to me. So I did ESPN today. I was driving back. There was some traffic, so I ran inside, flipped everything on. So we cut it pretty close today, but I said I would do it, so I did it.
And also, you should be rooting very, very hard for the Diamondbacks to win tonight, because if the Diamondbacks win and Russo does retire from Sirius XM, that will free up some money for you to ask for a raise.
It's a great call, and Chris, much like Michael Kay, can retire because they have so much money. I don't really believe it for a minute because I think he loves the radio, but I get the TV stuff, right? His kids are now at an age when they're in college, especially his son. So I think when he goes to visit his kids, all the college classmates get all excited. Oh, your dad, he's the guy screaming on ESPN on Wednesday morning. So I think that's kind of rejuvenated.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris Russo. So what's going to happen is it's going to happen to Michael Kay, too. His kid, he's going to wait till his kids are in school, and he's going to be showing up still on TV. So he's not retiring either.
Right.
Believe me when I tell you
Right, so like when Callie's like at Harvard and they go, oh, your dad's 80 years old and still screaming on TV. That's going to be good. Give me a good look. Great look. So the story today with the Knicks, we wanted to ask you about it. So a gentleman that writes for the Philadelphia Inquirer, I think his name is Pompey.
Keith Pompey.
Yeah, wrote that the Knicks would be willing to Randall, Barrett, Robinson, or Fournier, and draft picks to get Joel Embiid. And of course they would. I mean, I wouldn't care about losing any of them for Embiid, but I just don't think it's going to happen, Frank. What do you think?
I don't think it's going to happen either. I don't think Daryl Morey is going to trade Joel Embiid anytime soon, especially to the Knicks. I think that was put out there, and my radio partner, Brian Scalabrine, kind of brought this up as well. The idea that it's almost a message that the Knicks are willing to make moves, and I think right now the guy that's more realistic that they can get is Karl Anthony Towns. Now, we all know the connection there. Leon Rose, the Knicks president, was Karl Anthony Towns' agent. Tom coached him in Minnesota. The story came out where Carl had said to Stephen Bondi of the New York Post, oh, yeah, Tom and I patched things up a while ago. I think it's more realistic that they can get Karl Anthony Towns. Remember Embiid, and we've seen this now with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard wanted to go to Miami, but Portland made a trade that they thought was best for them. I think Daryl Morey would do the same thing, and I would not be shocked if Embiid were to get traded down the road a year from now, 2 years from now. I would not be shocked if it's a place like Houston. Daryl Morey knows the organization. He worked with a lot of people there. I could see Embiid being receptive to something like that. So just because it does seem like Embiid is kind of focused on New York, I think what we learned from the Damian Lillard trade, maybe some of these GMs and owners are saying, you know what, we'll decide where you're going to go. We'll try to get you there, but ultimately we're going to make the best trade for us.
And what would a Karl Anthony Towns trade look like? And would that be enough to get him over the top?
I think, and remember, too, the whole thing with Emmanuel Quickley not getting the extension, that kind of leads you to believe that he'll be dangled out there either now or at the trade deadline, because that's an attractive player to acquire. You could just let him walk, but he's a restricted free agent after the season for any team that acquires him. But I think Julius Randle would certainly be involved, and the Knicks would have to give up a couple of draft picks. I'm still convinced that that's the way ultimately that the Knicks would go. And I mean, obviously they have enough to get him. Now, remember, too, with Minnesota, they're high on Anthony Edwards, who had a terrific summer and played really well for the national team. Rudy Gobert, they're not as down on as most people are. Rudy Gobert seems to get blamed for everything. He got blamed when Utah lost. He got blamed for COVID. Every time a team loses that Rudy Gobert is on, it's his fault. But I think Minnesota is actually pretty high on him.
Now, I look at this Knicks team, and we'll get to the Nets in a moment. I look at this Knicks team, and then they made one big addition, and that was DiVincenzo. It was a nice signing, but he's going to be coming off the bench. And I think it's very limited what they could do. I understand why they're looking for that big game to get a Karl Anthony Towns or an Embiid. Right now, this is a team. I don't think it's going to be a play-in team. It's going to be obviously a playoff team. Maybe it wins one round, but I think that's about it. Do you agree?
I think you're 100% right. And look at the top of the division. So, I mean, of the conference. Number one, Miami went to the finals. They were looking to make moves. They wanted to get Damian Lillard. It didn't happen. But Milwaukee finished with the best record in the NBA, and they went out and got Damian Lillard. The Boston Celtics had the second best record in the league. They made it to a conference finals, game 7, and look what Brad Stevens did. He said, you know what, this isn't working. We need to get better. I think right now with the Knicks certainly, to your point, have a very good team. But if you want to take that next step, yes, it's about the players that you have on your roster getting better. But at some point with all these assets you have, and granted, you have to find a willing trade partner, at some point you got to swing for the fences. So again, the team that finished first and second in the East, Milwaukee and Boston, they made major moves this offseason to try to get better. And the Knicks, who got knocked out in the second round and had a really good season, didn't really do anything significant. Yes, Dante DiVincenzo, good player, but they also traded Obi Toppin for a second-round pick. Obi Toppin was essentially in the rotation. So in some ways, they got a little bit weaker along the front line.
And you do hear from a lot of the Knicks supporters, well, we could do what Miami did. But what Miami did is the aberration in this sport. This isn't the NHL where 8 seeds make runs to the finals, right? But and plus it's Miami that's been there and done that before. So I don't know if you can hitch your wagon to what Miami did and apply it to the Knicks, can you?
Nah, and also, come on, Jimmy Butler is a different level player than what the Knicks have, and I love Jalen Brunson. He's terrific, but Jimmy Butler has done it before, and Jimmy Butler said something right after the All-Star break that drove Adam Silver crazy. He said, all right, now the real games start. Now's when I start playing. After the All-Star break, they were not a 7 seed. The Nets went down there late in the season, beat them in March, and that kind of solidified Miami finishing 7th. Then they ended up dropping to 8th when they lost that first play-in game. And then remember, too, Giannis got hurt. So a lot of things had to break right for Miami. Miami had a great playoff run. They're well coached. They got mentally tough players. A lot of things broke right, including, of course, Giannis getting hurt. I think it's probably at the end of game 1, a game that Miami won.
Do you feel the East is as straightforward as it looks? Like when you fast forward to the playoffs, are you assuming we just get a Celtics-Bucks conference final?
Yeah, if we don't get that, I still think one of those two teams is going to be in the finals. I mean, Boston is so good, and Brad Stevens does such a good job. I mean, getting Drew Holiday, and I didn't like the idea of getting rid of Marcus Smart. I mean, for me, Marcus Smart is tough. He plays multiple positions. He doesn't necessarily need the ball. Even the worst shot of his season was that 3 that he took against Miami, and Derek White put it in. So even a miss that he had turned out to be good. But the fact that they went out and got Drew Holiday, Boston is, the Brad Stevens, for a guy that hasn't been doing it that long, is really smart. I even think picking up Jeff Van Gundy was a great move for them, bringing somebody like that. So that's the way Brad Stevens thinks. Right now, for me, I think Boston is the best team. We'll see how Damian Lillard does with Giannis. Giannis has never played with an offensive player like that before, that at any moment, in a fourth quarter of a close game could get you 15 points. So I think they're going to be really good. I just think it's those two teams and everybody else in the East.
I've heard from people, Frank, that Stevens really has always liked Van Gundy and respected him and liked what he's about. Is there any chance that if Missoula stumbles early that Van Gundy could get that job?
Yeah, I'm sure Jeff would be uncomfortable with that, and that's probably what he didn't want. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but I do know this. Brad Stevens is very high on Joe Mazzulla. He's the one that hired him, and Joe Mazzulla was behind the bench, when they had Ime Udoka, and there was a little I don't want to call it a controversy, but there was some uneasy feelings when Brad promoted Joe Mazzulla because that was his guy, and he didn't promote any of Ime Udoka's guy to the role of head coach. And remember, all those guys, or most of them, ended up leaving and joining Ime Udoka. Will Hardy, who's now with the Utah Jazz, Brad Stevens was high on him. He obviously got a job, and Joe Mazzulla was high on him, and he promoted him to that spot. Brad Stevens likes Joe Mazzulla. He's really high on him. He thinks he could be a good coach. But to your point, how can you not think that Jeff Van Gundy would be a terrific candidate? The way that whole thing went down, I find it to be fascinating because Jeff is smart. I mean, Mike, you've known him for a long time as well. You're going to get a guy like Jeff in your organization. That to me, that says a lot about Brad Stevens, what he thinks about Jeff, but how serious he is about turning Boston back into a championship team. They've always been a winner, but back into a championship team.
And does it go beyond Phoenix and Denver out west?
I think it could. I mean, I would never rule out the Lakers. I have no idea how many games LeBron is going to play. Go look at LeBron's playoff games. I think he's at 282. It's amazing how many minutes and how many games he's played. So if LeBron doesn't get you to 65 games, you could fall to 7th, then you're playing in the play-in again, and I think that ultimately impacted them as the season went on. I think Phoenix is incredible, but Durant is always a huge question mark because he does get hurt. I mean, the guy wants to play, but he has so many leg injuries. He had the huge leg injury last year, which interrupted his season. In fact, it was against Miami. That was his last game they ended up playing for the Brooklyn Nets before he get traded. But I think you're onto something, Don. I think it's those two teams out west, especially Denver, because Jokic is just a different level player.
The LeBron stat's amazing. It's almost like the Jeter stat. LeBron now, that means that he's played 3.5 seasons extra with the playoff games. It's unbelievable.
And that's why too, with players resting, to me, he goes in a different category. I mean, he's 39. All the guy does, he's played so many years, so many playoff minutes. If they think he has to rest, and I know they instituted this new policy or they enhanced the policy, to me, he's separate from everything. Because the guy's already proven he plays all the time. He's not looking to milk anything. The playoff games and playoff minutes, just the total minutes in general, are insane. And the fact that he's still, for my money, the best player in the team. I know everyone says, well, it has to be Anthony Davis. Do you really think in a close game, who's the guy that you betting on to come through? It's always going to be LeBron. All right, so even at this stage of his career, he's still a great player.
Let's talk a little bit about the Nets. I look at the Nets. I like the talent. I like how they rebounded from those guys demanding to be traded. I think it's a pretty decent team. I think they could finish a little bit over 500. I don't know if they're good enough to get the 6th spot, but I think they're definitely going to be in the play-in. What's your feel on the Nets?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think for them, if they were to get 6th again, that would be a big accomplishment. A lot's going to come down to Ben Simmons. And, Ben Simmons did a lot of talking during the offseason about how he wants to be an all-star again. I'll prove to people. That's great. You still have to go out and do it on the court. And to be fair, during the preseason, there were some moments where you did see Ben Simmons much more aggressive. And if he's going to defend the way that he did at certain points, then they're going to have a chance to be good because he was an all-star player in this league. He was an all-NBA player. He was an all-defensive team player in this league. I think a lot of it begins and ends with him. He just has to be more aggressive. And as you guys know, Shaq was a poor free throw shooter, but Shaq wasn't worried about getting fouled. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not a great free throw shooter, but he doesn't worry about getting fouled. The key for Ben Simmons is going to be when he's aggressive early in the game and he gets fouled and he goes to the free throw line and he doesn't make those 2 shots, what's going to happen the next time he has the ball? He has to stay aggressive. He has to have the mindset that Shaq and Giannis had where they said, no, I'm going to continue to be aggressive and eventually I'll make my free throws. And remember, Giannis had one of the greatest moments ever when he had the 50 in Game 6 against the Phoenix Suns. I think he was like 18 of 20 from the free throw line in the biggest game of his life.
Now, I've got some information here. Frank, you're going to have to use a lot of gas because there's a big seismic change in the Nets coverage on Yes. I was given this information. All of the home games, the pre- and post-game, are going to be done from Barclays Center.
Oh.
Yep.
Not from the studio.
Yep.
And how about this? Because our show now ends at 6:30, there are 30 games that will happen in the week that the pregame show now will start at 6:30 when we go off and go to 7:30. So it's an hour more, an hour pre and post game, an hour pregame. So Frank, there's a lot of extra work and a lot of traveling for you.
He's ready.
It's amazing how you guys now do less work and I have to pick up the pieces and do more work.
But I'm sure you're getting paid a lot of money too. So that's
Well, that's fair. But I'll be spending a lot of time in Brooklyn. I like going up to Stanford though because I see you. I see the guys that are on the CBS soccer show. I see the guys at CBS Sports. There's always like a lot of people walking around up there, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's our pregame show this year, so I'll have to do a lot more work. I'll have to study a little bit more. I have to listen to Peter in the morning after my show to get some insight.
Wow, you're making me look lazy out here. Look
and you also got a new analyst today. The Nets hired Vince Carter.
Oh, that's a good hire.
Is he taking my job?
No.
Impossible.
He'll be working with Ian and Ryan.
And I want you guys to know Noah again. He's terrific. So I want you guys to know something. So me and Brian Scalabrine, we went to Milwaukee, I think it was 3 weeks ago. And we've had a good relationship with the Bucks, and we had hung out with the mayor the year before. The mayor showed up at practice, and he gave us a proclamation proclaiming October 4th as Frank Isola Day and Brian Scalabrine Day.
Wow.
Well,
Peter has wrestling and hip hop. Don has got hockey. Mike's got baseball. I have the city of Milwaukee. How about that?
By the way, there's not a lot going on in Milwaukee. That's the Bucks are one of the few teams Brian Scalabrine didn't play for.
Oh, wow. Another shot.
So, and you know better than anybody then that it's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Very nice people. And they built some really nice hotels. It's funny. You almost think the city has changed a little bit, and you almost think that that Giannis has had a lot to do with it.
Really?
Just the
That's
impact
strong.
that he's had. I do. First of all, he's always in a good mood. So even in the wintertime, it's gray there, it's snowing. People are just happier because Giannis is always just so.
It's either
he's a
Jordan
sweet guy.
Love. It's one of the two.
I was always a fan of Milwaukee, the city. Pfister Hotel is great. When I was
Bologna,
single,
too,
it was a good
loved it as well,
social.
right?
What's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
Look it up if you don't understand the
Hey,
reference.
Frank, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm ready to do this, especially since Steve Young is no longer a weekly. I'm ready to proclaim that Frank Isola
Oh, not so
now
fast.
is
No,
in the
come
top
on.
is in the top 3
Top 3 guests?
and is in the contention of being the best guest we have.
That's because I come on. That's because I come on Zoom. By the way, how good of a dude is Steve Young? So I told him one day because he's from a neighborhood. I don't want to say where some of you guys live, but in that really nice neighborhood up there. And I told him on my way to Stanford, I drove through your town, and it actually said the home of Steve Young.
Sure
and he
did.
said, "Really?" He actually believed that. I said, "No, Steve. I'm being."
By the way,
trying to be somewhat funny."
you know what? You're a bad guy. I would have believed it.
Yeah, why not?
He's all
Steve
of fame.
Young.
Well, it should be.
It should
Hang on.
be.
But
Hang on a second.
then you had to feel so bad because then you had to walk it back, and he actually believed it.
Yeah, I know I did. So how about this? I live in a town where Buzz Aldrin was born. He landed on the moon. Peter,
Sure, I know. I'm familiar.
I'm
remember
familiar with
I
his
remember
work
that.
or with his walk.
I went to a school board meeting about something important. I think it had something to do with the girls' soccer team. And there was a group of elder gentlemen that were there, and they were lobbying. They were saying, how come we still haven't had a school named after him? I'm thinking, hang on a second. The guy that landed on the moon, he's from this town. They don't have a school named after him. What is he, a loser because he was second? If he was first, they would have named a school after him.
If it was
think
Neil
about
Armstrong,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so Steve Young, yes, they should probably have. I mean, he was a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They finally named the school after Buzz Aldrin.
Finally.
There you go.
I mean,
Finally.
Garfield's got a home of Wayne Corbett. So why can't
Yeah.
Greenwich have home of Steve Young?
You're absolutely
I know.
right. I'm gonna.
And
I'm
somebody
gonna,
else. We're not going to name names.
No, Steve Cohen is another name. A guy who lives in Greenwich.
Yes.
All right,
Chris Russo.
Let me.
He's from
He
up there,
doesn't
too.
know.
No, New Canaan.
New Canaan.
I know.
All right. So here's the deal, Frank. I watched that 90-second clip that everybody in the world has watched of Wembanyama, and now I'm really excited about watching this guy play. I don't like his body type for lasting a long time. He's a little too thin. But do you think he's going to be? He's lean. Do you think he's going to be great?
I think, yes, I do. And I think he's in the right organization, which has obviously had a great history with big men, even international big men, if you include Tim Duncan. So I think they'll bring him along properly. You know, if you ask Brian Windhorst, who spent a lot of time with him, how great, come on draft night, Brian Windhorst got to fly all the way to Paris just to ask Wembanyama a couple of questions.
And I heard that he just took over Paris that night after he did the interview. He was a wild
did.
man, yeah.
Kind of like Godzilla in Japan.
Exactly, the city of lights.
Strong.
But Wembanyama at a young age wanted, like, as he was growing, and he embraced the idea that he was this big. Shaq was the same way. Eddie Curry used to kind of walk around because he didn't like people looking at him. When Wembanyama thought, you know what, I'm going to have a chance to be a great player, and he did everything he could, and studied English. If you notice, he speaks great English. Everything that he's done is to assimilate and get ready for the NBA. So he wants this, and that has a lot to do with it. He's willing to put the work in. I saw him in Summer League. He looked a little out of it. Maybe that incident with Britney Spears kind of rattled him a little bit. I have no idea. But he certainly looked really good in the preseason. And come on, if the Spurs are going to come into town and you have a chance to go to the game, I don't care what NBA city it is, why wouldn't you go? I mean, the guy, like, you've never seen anything like this before.
All right, give us your finals pick before we let you go.
I'll say Boston and Denver.
And who wins?
This year. I'll say Boston this year.
How
love
about that, Peter?
When it comes from Isola, it's fact.
Yeah, okay. I'm usually wrong.
Frankie, I think you're at least in the top 8. I don't know about 3. Don's being very
That's
aggressive.
fine.
Yeah.
No, come on, dude.
I'm
Steve
ready.
Young. Steve Young is that's like a different level.
Yeah, but he's out.
But
we got to replace Young.
He's not even. He's not allowed on the station anymore.
You know what? You replace Young. You're one. You pass passing.
Oh, but he
it goes
passing.
Isola and then passing.
Holy crap.
Because does he could do Zoom. Frank chooses to do Zoom. Jeff doesn't.
But if he did Zoom and he was lousy, it wouldn't matter. He's great and does Zoom.
But I'm saying the Zoom does put him over the top.
There was the Nets show that they have on Yes, Frank. I guess it was the day that the Nets had their press conferences and everything. There was an interview of you on the roof of their facility.
Right.
You had on a blue coat and a black shirt, and your hair was rustling in the wind. I said, that man's a male model.
It's your get back moment.
By the way, have you been to their practice facility?
No, I've never been invited.
The rooftop, this is more probably Peter's speed, overlooks, Manhattan, downtown Brooklyn. Oh, it's incredible up there. Statue of Liberty. They actually rent it out for parties.
You could have got married there, Peter.
Yeah. I mean, could I have done any better, though?
No, you had a great.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was great.
And Frank, I'm still waiting for the gift.
He wasn't invited.
Sure he was. You didn't get the invite, Frank?
Wow.
No, I'm one of the people that you want to invite, hoping I don't show up, but I know that I have to send
No, you know what? You actually are. You're actually the kind of person who I am so fond of that I wish I could have invited you, but there's just too many stupid people I know ahead of you on the list. You know what I mean?
Peter, quick thing, really, one last quick one. The Bethesda Marriott downtown,
the new
in your
one.
neck of the woods, they also have a rooftop bar.
Yeah. Oh, they do?
Nice.
The new one?
Yes.
Now, little trick about that Marriott in Bethesda. That's the Marriott. It's the corporate Marriott's Marriott.
That's right.
So it's like the best maintained Marriott in the country.
Strong. Couldn't care less. Anyway, Frank, thanks so much. And we'll be talking to you a lot during the season.
All right, boys. Take care.
There you go. The great Frank Isola. Don has him at number one now. I will not go that far, and I know Frank forever.
Prove me wrong.
Well, we've had some great. Kenny Albert was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Today.
Not Frank.